So the total number of returnees who have come back to the state due to COVID-19 pandemic district-wise are as follows. East Jaintia Hills, 4,141. West Jaintia Hills, 3,120. East Khasi Hills, 63,412. Ribhoi, 7,144. West Khasi Hills, 1,678. Southwest Khasi Hills, 890. North Garo Hills District, 2,009. East Garo Hills, 1,363. West Garo Hills, 8,883. South Garo Hills, 797. Southwest Garo Hills, 1,752. A total of 95,187. Reply to star question 32B, yes, 502 numbers of returnees have been approved for financial assistance under phase 1 of the project. Applications for financial assistance under phase 2 are being examined by the Directorate of Commerce and Industries.
Mr. Saleh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for giving me the answer. But I would like to have a few more answers supplementary, Mr. Speaker, sir, to you. Now, though our state is very small, but when you look at the number, it is very large who are working outside the state in seeking for a better job. So, my questions to the Honorable Chief Minister is that whether government has given any information to those returnees to provide not only the financial assistance, but the other jobs, like fourth grades, like cleaners, sweepers, peon, chowkidars, or etc., something like that. Not only the financial assistance that will help them, by giving them job, it will build not only the workforce for our state, but it will build our economy also. And then rather than the members from the immigrant working not only from the outside the state, but even from outside the country also. So if we can, give them a job within our state itself, at least, and create the workforce of our own people, I think that will be better. So any kind of information has given so far to those returnees?
Sir, though the question does not relate to the question that was raised by the honorable member, but definitely it's connected to the broader issue of unemployment. So the point mentioned by the honorable member is very valid. The fact that 95,189 people were working outside and then they have come back to the state shows the kind of exposure that our people have had. And also the government obviously has realized that job creation, entrepreneurship, pushing the farmers, pushing tourism sector, pushing the food processing sector is very important for us to create more and more jobs. So in general, a lot of programs are going on in that direction. But having said that, the honorable member's point is very correct that there are these individuals who have got a lot of exposure and now have come back to our state. Now, let me inform the House, sir, that a number of them actually started working in the Corona care centers. A large number of them started doing duty for the Corona programs that we had. A large number of them, in fact, are also working in different EAP projects that we have right now. In fact, just a few days back, I had opened up the Prime Hub in Tura, and there was a very young, smart lady who was there. And I found out later on that she had been working in Bangalore, and now she is working in the Prime Hub Center in Tura. So things like this have been happening, sir, but of course there is no specific program where we are doing specific issues and trying to address individual matters, but it's a more broad programs that we are doing. But a lot of them have also decided to go back. I don't have the exact number with me about that, but as I said, in different ways, sir, these things are being adjusted, and I think the point mentioned by the honorable member is absolutely correct. We have these kind of individuals who have had the experience and now are back into the state through this project Livelihood and Gainful Employment that was funded by NEC. A large number of them have got benefits. So some of them are getting through this. Another 400 are being listed for the next phase. And so about 1,000 of them will get, and others are getting benefit through other schemes. So therefore, sir, the suggestions given by the member are noted, and definitely we will do what we can to provide the opportunities to these youngsters. Thank you, sir.
One more last, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to thank the Honourable Chief Minister for taking up the initiative. But I know our government, the government is very fair, but I would like to request our Honourable Chief Minister to expedite more actually, by giving more opportunity and sensitizing our people and, about the productivity and the economy within our state, seriously actually, so that our people will prefer to stay and work within our state itself. So my question is there any criteria to get selected for the financial assistance?
So the criterias, I'll just read out some of them, sir. So the criterias are that the returnees should be entrepreneurs or persons employed in other private enterprises, capable of taking up self-employment ventures in manufacturing, services, and small business enterprises. 2, should be 18 years of age as on 1st of March 2020, to be supported with a birth certificate, admit card, and there will be no upper ceiling of age limit. 3, should be permanent residents of Meghalaya. Local tribal returnees should furnish scheduled tribe certificates, and non-tribal returnees should submit the permanent residence certificate issued by competent authorities. 4, non-tribals and other tribal returnees should submit the up-to-date trading license from the respective district councils. 5, returnees should have returned back to state after 1st of March 2020. Declaration in the non-judicial stamped paper to be submitted by the returnee. Education qualifications, no bar, and income level, no bars.
Sir, a little feedback for the Honorable CM. The amount that was given to the youths, it seems it was going to be an electronic transfer of the funds through the Industries Department. But, sir, most of these youths were employees. And the mode of this assistance is to ensure that the youths now come up as entrepreneurs for various activities, which is much appreciated, sir, whatever effort is being taken. But, sir, the youths that have been selected under this particular assistance, they are not being provided with further support to groom them as entrepreneurs. So I requested the Industries Department also, sir, that there should be some sensitization program, because what is happening now, it seems that the first decision was to just transfer the amount to the youths and then let them carry on by themselves. So the youth should be brought under one particular program, sir. Give them assistance through of trainings, like EDP trainings, and there should be hand-holding, sir, because they are going to be first-time entrepreneurs. So bookkeeping and all that accounting work also should be
You may come to the supplementary question, please.
Sir, that is, sir, the suggestion, not the question, sir, that the youth should be assisted with training programs on EDP and accounting so that they will be established as good entrepreneurs, sir.
Sir, just to also apprise the House that the entrepreneurship program being taken up by the state government is a very massive program we have done, and it's been happening for the first time. So apart from hand-holding, apart from recognizing them, apart from providing incubation centers, apart from providing hand-holding, training, financial assistance, rewards, many such programs are going on, and many programs will go on in the future also. So in specific reply to what the Honourable Member has just mentioned, so we have a detailed process through which this has been done. Applications were only approved once spot inquiries were done, verification was done by the GMs of the DCICs. So therefore, a very detailed process was followed. But I think the suggestion that is given by the Honourable Member is very good. We definitely will examine that suggestion also, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now we are only talking about the some companies or some other multinational companies like that. But what about those who work as a laborer actually? Because around those returnees from Mumbai and Pune, they were working as a laborers actually out there. we had a talk with them, and they could not read and write, also few of them. So whether the government has detected how many of them are like uneducated, or maybe who can read and write, so that the work culture can be segregated, and then looking at their aspect, maybe the work can be divided or given, something like that.
Sir, as I had mentioned in my the criterias that were read out earlier, that educational qualification and income level are no bar for this particular scheme, which was mentioned, which is the Project Livelihood and Gainful Employment funded by the Northeast Council. So therefore, even though it may be a laborer, but if they are returnees and they have a plan to start up some businesses, they are very much qualified in terms of the criterias to be able to apply for this. But going back to the details of the returnees who have come in, so that information is not there with me. It's a huge number. But of course, the suggestion that is given by the honorable member that how we could engage these laborers who are coming back, and if they could be put in, definitely, sir, we can examine that option. It's a very good suggestion given by the member, sir.
We move to start question number 3.